Hi, my name is Arman Shah, president of KITE, and welcome back to another Python video. So in today's video, we're going to be going over two things. We're going to be going over a difficult conditional expression and a fundamental part of Python, which is try and except, which is very important to understand. So I'm going to open up my text editor and we're going to go over some try and except examples. So over here I have a small program that asks for the input of this velocity of this bird, the unlanded swallow, and think of it as a test question. So it's testing. The answer is 10. I don't think that's the actual answer. I just put that there. So it's asking for the speed, and we're gonna take the integer of the speed right here, because again, you cannot compare. You cannot do this with a string. So we must take the integer of it. Because inputs are always given through strings. So we take the integer of it, then we say if it's equal to 10, then the answer is correct, print correct, else it's incorrect. So let's see how that runs. It's asking for the air velocity. I'm going to say 10, correct. If I say, I don't know, 5, incorrect. Very simple. But sometimes the user might not give a number. And if the user doesn't give a number, what's going to happen? So I'm going to run this. Now the user is going to give, let's say, I don't know. Now, if the user does this, what's going to happen? We're going to assign speed to this string, I don't know. But once this string is assigned to speed, you can't take the integer of it. So what's going to end up happening is we get an error. We get a traceback error because, as they say, invalid literal for integer with base I don't know. You cannot assign this to an integer because this is not an integer. Even if you put a number, let's say I put let's say I put a number here. Let's say I put 10 I don't know meters a second. We're also going to get a traceback, even if we put a number there, because that's not a string. We cannot convert this whole string to an integer. So what we do instead is we use a try and except function. We're going to try something to avoid this traceback error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this try. So what's going to happen, I'm going to say try, and this is a type of compound, right? As we learned in the last video, a type of compound statement. We're going to try this. And if that doesn't work, we're going to accept this. We're going to say print, please print a whole number. So we're going to put this here. And now what's going to happen? So what's happening here is we're assigning the speed to this, and if they give something that's not an integer, it's going to go to this except function. So think of it like this. We're going to try this function. We're going to try to make the integer speed. We're going to try to make the integer speed, but if they give you something that is, let's say, a string that you cannot make into an integer, then you're going to get a traceback error. So this won't work. But then that's where the except comes in. We're going to go to the function's going to get an error, then it's going to go to the except. That's why there's this try function, to see if it will work. So let's see what happens when we run this. We're going to get, let's say we say I don't know. Please print a whole number. So what's happening here is we try to make the speed an integer. But because the speed of which is the input is not an integer, it's this string I don't know, you get a traceback error. But Python knows you get a traceback error and knows this is a try function, so instead goes to this except and prints what's in the except, which is please print a whole number. So that's how try and except works. It's more of a means of avoiding these traceback errors with user inputs. So we're gonna go over exercise 3. So make sure to pause this video and do exercise 3 by yourself, and then I'll go over it in a second. You could also do exercise 2, which is continues on from exercise 1, which is on the previous video. you could do that. If you have any questions on exercise 1 or exercise 2, you could join our Discord server in the link below, and we'll have a representative in the Python forums channel to help you with it. So exercise 3 is asking for us to write a program for a score between 0 and 1. So it's technically asking us to make a grading system. So it's going to ask for an input, we're going to put a grade, and the grade must be between 0 and 1, and then it's going to return a grade, a certain grade. And if the score is out of range, print an error message. So if the score is not between 0 and 1, meaning it's less than 0, or if it's greater than 1, print an error message. Or obviously, if the score is not a number itself, let's say someone says perfect, print an error message. And we have to use this following table. So if it's greater than or equal to 0.9, A, less than 0.6, it's a fail, and so on. So this is the solution to the exercise. What we're asking is for an input of your score, and then this is the most important part: a try and except function, and within that, an if and elif statements. So first, we're gonna try to float this. We're gonna try to float the score, and if that doesn't work, if we put a non-numerical string, like if we put statement, then it's gonna accept this and print this. So let's see what happens when we put a non-numerical string. Let's say I got a perfect score. It says error, please give a valid numerical score. Okay, so let's run this again. Let's give a numerical score. Let's say now I give another error. So what I actually did in the program is I put a guideline that if the score is greater than 1, or if the score is less than 0, then print another error message giving a valid score between 0 and 1, because again the score must be between 0 and 1. So let's say I put that the score was 1.5. Error, please give a valid score. If I said that the score was -5, again I get an error message. So then in the rest of the program, what I did is I said elif, if the score is greater than 0.9 or equal to 0.9, print grade A. Elif, score greater than or equal to 0.8, print B, and then so on. And then at the end, if it's less than 0.6, you could just say grade F. You could also do else here, but I just sometimes an elif is more clear, just to make sure that the program is running correctly. So thanks for joining us in today's Python video about conditional statements. In the next video, we're going to be going over functions, and soon how to create your own functions. If you have any questions, again, join the Discord server. The textbook link will be below, and so with that will be our website.